Our borders were deliberately designed by outsiders. Why, in the Capitol Dome, symbol of US democracy, is there a Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one? It refers to uniting all Americans under one identity, thousands of miles away. Let's return to our Arab region. An Arab is anyone who speaks Arabic. This means the region from the Atlantic to the Gulf is home, and it's larger than Europe, excluding Russia, of course. But unlike Europe, our region hasn't known stability for decades. Why? Our borders are the answer. Our borders in the Arab region were designed by outsiders to maximize chaos and disorder as much as possible. How did we get these terrible borders? We need to go back centuries when most of the Middle East was under Ottoman control. The oldest border in the Middle East is the Zagros mountain range. These mountains formed a natural boundary between the Persian Safavid Empire and the Ottoman Empire. But there's a problem with these borders. The border follows the mountain range as a dividing line until this area. Khuzestan lies west of the mountains, but within Iran's borders. Most of its people are Arabs, not originally Persian. Moreover, Khuzestan floats on oil wells, producing 80% of Iran's total oil output. This is why Saddam invaded Iran and why Iran fought fiercely to keep Khuzestan. Eight years of war killed 500,000 to 1 million people due to this border dispute. Is this our biggest border problem? Of course not. Take a look at this map with me. This is a map of the Treaty of Sèvres. What's its story after World War I? The Ottoman Empire was collapsing. Victorious countries divided its lands like a cake. Take Armenia, take Greece, Italy, France, Britain. They even promised the Kurds an independent state. Turkey rejected the treaty and fought for independence for 3 years. It won and established modern Turkey with its current borders. Okay, what about the rest of the territories that belong to the Ottoman Empire? Our country, meaning Syria, Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon? A new Treaty of Lausanne in the Treaty of Lausanne, which saw international recognition of the modern Turkish state. Turkey abandoned any claims to the territories that were previously under its control, and our country was left like an unwanted item in the Friday market, up for anyone to loot. Britain and France signed the secret Sykes-Picot Agreement before Lausanne and also before Sèvres and before the end of the war in the first place. And the British took Iraq, Palestine and Transjordan. The French took northern Syria and most of the Levant. The Sykes-Picot line that separated Britain's and France's interests in our region almost still exists today. This line was never drawn for the benefit of the people who live here. When we understand this line, we understand why ISIS existed we understand why ISIS at its peak stationed forces around this very line. What's worse? Iraq's borders today are designed to group Shiite Arabs, Sunnis and Kurds into one state. Shiites are the majority and control the southern oil. Yet the minority Sunnis controlled the Ba'ath Party, which ruled from the 1960s until Saddam's fall. Iraq's invasions of Iran and Kuwait were attempts to settle border disputes. Syria's borders also forced Shiites, Sunnis, and Kurds into one nation. Alawites, a minority, effectively ruled Syria for 40 years until Assad's fall. In Lebanon, over 95% are Arabs, but divided into Sunni, Shiite, and Christian. This crazy mosaic explains the 15-year Lebanese civil war that tore the country apart. All these divisions in Lebanon and the region were deliberately created by the British and French to keep these nationalities constantly competing, never able to unite against their colonizers. And of course, at the head of the snake is the biggest cancer gnawing at the heart of this nation, Israel. Eventually, the French and British left, but the boundaries they drew and divisions they created still govern us today. And the future that awaits us is far worse. This map of the new Middle East wasn't officially published, but was leaked to the media in 2006. This map was circulated in NATO meetings and Western military circles. According to this map, Iraq will be divided into two states, into 4 countries, Yemen into 2. Turkey will lose parts of its territory, Iran, Afghanistan. The Kurds will get an independent state. But the problem with these colonial plans is they want to impose the Western concept of homeland and identity on Arab society, but this fails in the Arab context. The Arab, whether in Damascus, Cairo, or Baghdad, believes he belongs to all of this, while the West wants him to belong only to one part. In short, this is the policy of divide and rule. So what do we do in the face of this division? The key is in a 3-word phrase written on the dome of the US Capitol. E pluribus unum. Or in Arabic, hold fast to the rope of God, all of you, and do not be divided.